Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. I always got to make sure I'm not muted. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome to J is for Justice. Let me get my screen fixed. I thought we were all set to go. And here we are, all messed up. It never fails. Oh, I know why. My bad. I was ready. My bad, Potato. I got Potato on panel with me tonight. Everybody say hello to Potato and prep yourselves. Wait, don't say anything yet. Don't say anything yet, Potato. Prep yourselves. You're going to hear. We can't even call her Incognito Potato anymore. We have to now call her Hot Potato. She's officially Hot Potato. So, Potato, what's up? How you doing tonight?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, my God.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You sound amazing.
Thank you. And thank you to Mike for hooking me up.
He hooked you up good. Thank you so much, Mike
he
Sanner.
really did.
Is Mike Sanner in the house?
See, yeah, I need to say thank you to him.
Let me see if he's here. I see a lot of blue. So I see Jammers. I see Angie B. And Miss Shell, Mimi Shell. Let's see. No Sanner just yet. Paper Chaser, hello. Let's see if we got any other mods here. We got Jammers talking about whipping and nay-naying. So what's going on? How was your Sunday?
It's been pretty good. Yeah, I've been deep in this Pappa Rodgers stuff for a few days.
I see
and
that.
Nights.
I see that. So how many posts did you recover?
There were almost 40 posts between December 1st and 22nd.
That's
So
a
it's
lot.
all of his posts that he put in this Facebook group and his comments replying to people. So there's some conversation in there as well.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Thank you for your hard work.
And I crossed out people's names as well because I know that it's a group that everyone can access, but his Facebook page is gone now, so you can't even see these posts anymore. And I know some people don't like to be put out there, like with their conversations and stuff. So,
well, that is very respectful of you because in all seriousness, I feel like if you put something on Facebook, it's public, but the Potato it takes privacy very seriously because in the UK, they look at things a little different. They actually have privacy.
Information.
They actually have what's called privacy. We have like this false perception of privacy, but I appreciate you doing that. That was awesome of you to do. And Mike Sanner is in chat, and so is Cheryl T. Thank you,
Mike Sanner.
He says, "Hi, Hot Potato. I'm here, and you're welcome." Mike,
he's so sweet. He's so kind.
very kind man. Thank you so much, Mike. I'm glad everybody could make it. We've got almost 200 in here. Elaine is here from Yorkshire.
Yay.
We always love Elaine's comments. Elaine, I look forward to seeing you every day. I love how you sign your comments because I always know who it is. I'm never left guessing. Cody Russo, hello. We've got Daff, Casey Marie, Jess, Pat Gordon. Hello, Pat Gordon. Pat Gordon says, I like that accent. I told you, it's Hot Potato. Hot potato. Or green banana.
Bananas. Banana.
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 Oh my gosh. So Mike.
Oh my God. What is that song? There's a song about plays and bananas.
That's Coco Melon. That is Coco Melon. And the other one is, what are those guys that used to dress in the different colors? That said green banana. And they were from there. You should know this, okay?
Was that the Wiggles?
The Wiggles. Or something.
Yeah, they're not from here. They're Australian.
Oh, same difference. You both say banana.
We do. I'll give you that.
You don't say, either one of you don't say banana. So the Wiggles,
Bananas.
Andy knew. Teletubbies, that's close.
The Teletubbies.
But these were actually men. I don't know what's scarier. The Teletubbies costumes or the men in the different colors singing about potatoes and bananas.
I don't know. Tinky Winky's kind of a
Tinky
bit...
Winky. Po!
Dipsy.
My kids, my two boys loved the frickin' Teletubbies. Loved them.
My little brother used to be scared of the Teletubbies.
He was
like literally so scared of it. If it came on the TV, he would run and hide.
Really? My son was mesmerized. So how old was your little brother when he was watching it? Like 3-ish? Or older, like 5?
Oh God, yeah, he was young.
He was scared.
He was young,
Wow.
probably about 3, 4.
Dude.
It's only because in one of the episodes there was a big bear on it and it had eyes that like spin around.
Oh, the googly eyes. Yeah, I remember that
So,
one.
where's the bear? Yeah, so even if you said to him, "Where's the bear?" like he would run.
Oh,
He'd be
poor
like,
baby.
"No, I'm out."
That was like he had an Amaka phase. My son, I would sit him down at like 6 months old and he would just stare. I think it was the green grass and like the sun with the baby face. He would just, I mean, literally, I'm like, I remember saying to my girlfriend, we both had kids at the same time. And I was like, should we be worried? I mean, my kid's like in a trance. Like he won't even look at me if I say his name. Should I keep letting him watch this? It was that mesmerizing for him. So I don't know if it was the graphics of it. I don't know. But
all the
crazy.
colors and stuff.
Yeah. Bananas and pajamas. He loved that too. He had the stuffed animal that sang that.
Bananas and
Bananas in pajamas.
In pajamas.
Yep. Blippy. Jessica, her son loves Blippy. My granddaughter likes Blippy. He's a YouTuber.
I don't even know what that is.
He's a YouTuber. Like, I think he's only on YouTube. But he's got like millions of followers. And he dresses up kind of reminds me of Waldo. Like, where's Waldo? And he goes to different places. He goes like, oh, we're at the library. He's really, really annoying. We're at the library. But you have to be like that, you know. So, anyways, totally off topic.
That sounds terrifying.
Let's reel it back in. Jessica says he's very popular, but I'm embarrassed. Oh, man. It's Flippy. Jammers, how old is your daughter? It's Flippy. Oh, they changed the guy for Blippy? Why? The original Blippy's like, damn, I went viral. I'm done.
I'm out.
I don't blame him. All right, let's get back to our topic. Let's reel it in. Pappa Rodgers. So when did Pappa Rodgers first pop up on the scene?
Well,
December 1st?
Yeah. December 1st was his first post in the Facebook group.
So this would have been, let's think about what we know about Kohberger before we start. So he got fired after the Pappa Rodgers post began, right? As far as we know. Because I'm just wondering if we'll notice a change in tone and all. I'm just thinking ahead.
Well, it is interesting the things he posts and what we know that he was doing now.
Yeah.
Like, as we go into it.
Okay, so let's just start it and then we'll see what comes up from it, right?
I mean, even this first one, he's talking about the sheath, like right off the bat.
Okay, I'm going to have to do something. Oh my God, the sheath. And we had no idea what the sheath even was at that point.
Nope.
So hold up. I'm going to open this in a different window. Just give me 2 seconds. And Potato put music to it and everything, you guys.
Yeah, I'm that extra.
You're a gem. You're a gem. I know what it means. I know when you get started on something, though, and then, like,
it snowballs.
It really can. Like, today. So just to give you guys, I know this is a little off topic again, too, but just to give you guys an update on Sunday, a week from today, I'm going to be doing a special stream for the 5-year anniversary of the Watts case. So it's been 5 years already. And I was putting together a trailer to announce the live. and I had to shut it off because I had to get in the shower to come on with you. And I'm like sitting here like, oh, can I do just a little more? Like, I love it. Like, I get so enthralled that I don't want to stop. So,
Yep, I'm exactly the same. And before I know it, it's 5:30 in the morning and the birds are tweeting.
Thank you,
Like,
Mike
okay.
McDowell. Mike McDowell just sent a super sticker and he said, bananas in pajamas. Cute dog, too, Mike. We have a lot of Mikes.
There is a lot of mics.
There's a lot of Mikes and there's a lot of Heathers. I've noticed a lot of Heathers and Mikes on YouTube. I guess they're very popular names. But anyways, someone wants to know, who is Pappa Rodger?
We do not know.
We do not know. But what we do know is that Pappa Rodger had a lot of information that we didn't know. So we can only guess that it's either law enforcement or
So is that a joint?
the perpetrator or someone who knew what the perpetrator
Or is it a
did.
cigar?
I mean,
And
that's really
before we even know like who knew who Brian Kohberger was and stuff, people in this group thought that his posts were really weird, and he actually got removed from the group because he'd had arguments with members and things, so they just got him out of there.
they booted him.
Yeah,
They booted
did.
him. Okay, let's start it. So the first post already is, of the evidence released, the murder weapon has been consistent as a large fixed blade knife. This leads me to believe they found the sheath. This evidence was released prior to autopsies. I already have thoughts. My thought is, did he not use the K-bar for the murders and left the sheath to make them think it was a K-bar?
It's possible. And also, what makes me think that this could have been Brian is that he says that they think that it was a fixed blade knife because of the sheath and not because of the injuries that were made to the bodies. Because you'd think if there was stabbings, like they can tell how long the knife was and, the size of the knife. But what we know now is that it wasn't just stab wounds, it was like slashes. So they wouldn't necessarily be able to tell what kind of knife was used.
Puncture wounds, too, she said. But she did say it was consistent as a large fixed blade knife. And then, but then he goes totally off base and says, this leads me to believe they found the sheath.
Like right out.
No one mentioned the sheath. So that's odd. All right, let's keep going. How long is each slide about? Are they the same?
Well, I did it so that it's at read-through speed.
Oh, okay. So I can
So you'll
just
be able
leave
to
it?
read them as it's going.
Okay,
Just leave it
awesome.
running.
Awesome. All right, let me turn the music low. All right. The next one. They haven't found the weapon. And then he says, exactly. So he's saying, oh, it leads me to believe they found the sheath, but, oh, sorry, I paused it out of habit. I do have to pause it. But it leads me to believe that he says, it leads me to believe they found the sheath. But then he's like, oh, yeah, but they haven't found the weapon. It's so cryptic. So it could be law enforcement, though, also for, messing with Brian.
Yeah. I mean, the only people that would know anything about a sheath is law enforcement and the perpetrator.
Yeah.
So it's got to be either one of them.
Right. And maybe it'll make more sense as we keep going through. Maybe it'll give us more clues.
So obviously we didn't know about the sheath until the PCA, which was December 29th. So he'd said that like nearly a whole month before.
We found out on Thursday, January 5th.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that's jarring. So this was literally over a month before.
Yeah,
right?
It's crazy. Yep. Yeah, and then afterwards, everyone was obviously like, look, as the comment says there, heard today that they found a sheath under one of the bodies. So they were starting to think maybe this could be him in this group now.
Yes, I will read the dates. You want to walk us through the next few slides?
Mhm.
I heard that one.
Yeah. So this is comment that was underneath that post. So I did it so that the posts are first and then all of the comments underneath that
Okay.
post
It's probably
come
better if you
afterwards.
walk us through it with your new mic and all.
Yeah. So so 4 weeks later, so the first post was December 1st, and then 4 weeks later, someone had commented saying, "I heard today that they found a sheath under one of the bodies. What if this really was him? Sure sounds like it to me."
30 weeks. And then Jamie Davis goes, right? And there is another post where he predicted where the murders happened.
Mm-hmm.
They're all picking up. This is so
Yeah.
creepy to read.
Creepy.
Now I remember reading his post and thinking, what a weirdo prior today. Ugh, makes me sick now. Ooh, this is... I believe the killers came from the high side of the house. They were covered in blood after the attack.
So remember Inside Looking
Yeah.
on Reddit?
Mm-hmm.
They also posted the same kind of thing, that the person had parked at the top behind the house.
Wow. See, and I was wondering how many of these kind of would line up with the inside and outside looking
Yeah.
things that
I did try and
they said.
find the Inside Looking
Oh, you should have
posts.
asked me. I have them all.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I
Oh.
have the Reddit stuff. I just don't have the Facebook stuff.
So we could have matched
We
them
could
up.
have mashed them up. That's all right, though. There's not as many Reddits as there were Facebook, obviously. is excellent.
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. The third floor windows, unobstructed view, lights on at night, perfect for voyeuristic activities. And Papa says excellent.
Yeah. Like, that's not creepy.
Oh, no, not at all. Go ahead.
Random killers will also target homes based on ease of escape routes, how far from nearest neighbor, whether it appears neighbors are home, etc. Pappa Rodgers says the escape route by vehicle here is very poor, yet they are focusing on a vehicle.
Oh, this was something that I did see in the beginning.
Yeah.
I
And it's gone now.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah, so if you still have that.
I don't think I saved it, but it is from November 10th. I think he put November 10th through the 13th or something like that.
I think one of the comments, it might not be in this one, but it's mentioned again. I think one of the comments says the time frame of the searches.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so August 1st till November 10th. And this is the Google Trends. And this has reminded me of the things that his lawyer put out, the stats. Because I didn't know you could even do this.
No, I didn't either.
So you can put in any search term, and he put in 1122 King Road, and it shows you over time, excuse me, how many times the home was searched on Google. As you can see, from August 1st, there's two big spikes. And then it continues to the 10th. Now, I also, when I found this, I went a step further and I put the victims' names. And now I cannot remember who was searched more, and I could kick myself. But maybe we can still search that.
Well, Kaylee, it is in the comments as well that Kaylee was searched 40 times.
Okay, so I do remember. I thought it was Kaylee or Maddie. I didn't want to say it wrong, but it was Kaylee. Yeah, I remember that. Interesting that OP chose start date for this address with the month of August. He graduated in June 22 from DeSales in PA and started fall semester at WSU for PhD. Lots of activity around the second week of August. Wonder if that's when he came to know or met the victims.
And what's also interesting is that Brian was stopped near the house on August 21st.
That's when he got pulled
at like
over.
11:40 p.m.
Isn't that wild that he got pulled over on that same day, detained, which means they put him in the back of the car for some reason. And then that was it.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to do this. I almost wonder, and this is just me thinking, speculation. Is it possible that he was reported as, being kind of a stalker or creeper, and he was a little bit on their radar, and now he thought they might feel stupid because they had run-ins with him before? You know what I'm saying? Like, to make them look incompetent.
Yeah. They could have had stalker reports and things because he was pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt. So, and then nothing came from it.
But detained for not having a seatbelt. It's almost like they wanted to ask him some questions or something. Like, I don't know. So to me, it's like Brian Kohberger is over there. He's driving around. He's seen near the house. Then he gets pulled over for some bullshit reason, detained, and then let go. And then we fast forward to September, and that is when the sororities and fraternity students were walking on Paradise Path and were confronted by a man with a knife. And Chief Fry said that man came forward. So I have to wonder, was that Brian Kohberger? And did he come forward to make him look like he's a good guy? They misunderstood, or, they came at me, whatever the story might be. I can't get those documents from that incident. So it leads me to believe it's him.
Yeah.
because I
Well, there's
requested.
got to be a reason why you can't have them.
Yes, they told
If
me
it's part of an
it was ongoing
ongoing.
investigation.
Yeah. hmm
Mm-hmm. So what if he had, been detained on the 21st, and then fast forward to September, and he has this run-in on Paradise Path, and then he says, it was a misunderstanding, and then he ends up doing this. And it comes out in court that they had run-ins with Brian Kohberger, and they weren't able to stop this, right? So in his eyes, I could see him thinking, they're incompetent, so their whole investigation must be incompetent.
Yeah, like they're not going to catch him. And also, we know now as well that they knew that he'd been in the area 12 times before.
Mm-hmm. So it's just curious, like, how would he have come across maybe a party or, in August? Like,
Who knows?
maybe, move-in date. Remember, that was in August. All the girls, sorority. Oh, I wonder if he was out. What day was bid day?
Oh,
I wonder if he was out scoping on bid day. Does anyone in chat know off the top of their heads what day bid day was? JC Marty wants to know, where is all the interrogation? That would be part of the case, which is sealed, right?
yeah.
Anybody know what day bid day was? Was he doing some Ted Bundy shit, driving around, stalking on bid day? Well, I don't think PJ. Yeah, they do play each other in football. Well, WSU and Idaho do play each other. No, bid day, January 33rd, Mark Klein. I'm going to kick your ass. I actually was going to read. I'm like, January 3rd. You ass. Mainstream media, fuck the narrative. No, I don't think so.
Jammers has got it. Fall 2023, August 9 to 14.
Oh, wow. Pretty close.
So, yeah. I mean, if it was 8 to 13 next year, then it's going to be around those dates, isn't it?
Yeah, what would
Second
move-in
week.
day be then? So they go to bid day, and then they find out where they're going to go. And then when do they move in? I think it's still in August. Maybe the last week of August. Mikey, behave. Behave, or the bluesies are going to get you in chat. The shit started in August rush week or whatever, says X. Stacy Cole, does anyone remember a student saying they had seen him in the Idaho college drinking water and watching everyone? Yeah, and I said I saw him sitting there reading a Bible with two dudes. Y'all said I was crazy. You see? JC Marty, we're not talking about that today, but I'd love for you to go back and watch my videos, because I give you my theory of what I think she did for 8 hours.
Anne says, what happens on bid day? Are they all outside?
Mm-hmm.
I think they are, aren't they?
I think they're walking door to door. Yeah. They're out and about for sure. And then on move-in day, they're all out front taking their pictures. Someone needs to look at their Instagrams and see what time or what date those pictures were taken, where they're out front.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe, just maybe, he was driving around. Same freaking time frame.
I mean, that whole period of Russian stuff, they're all out all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've seen the pictures with our own eyes. Remember the parade? Mm-hmm. There's a parade?
Yep.
Someone sent me a picture of that parade way back in the day. I should probably look at it again. Because who knows who's creeping around in the back.
And plus, they put all this stuff online as well. So even if he wasn't out there stalking around, he probably could see it, what was going on online.
All right. let's keep going and we'll see if anybody pops in with the dates from Instagram or something. All right, so interesting that OP chose start date for this address with the month of August. He graduated June 22. Oh, I already read that. My bad. Oops, everybody does that. It's
Oh,
okay.
whoops.
It's okay. Thoughts on this body placement? Okay, what are we looking at here? First, we're looking at them spraying luminol, I think, for fingerprints.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then he has Ethan out in the living room, which we know is not true.
Yep. It still has Xana in the same place he had the first time.
Xana's still by the blood, yep. And he puts that picture of the blood, circles her window. Why is he focusing so much on Xana?
I mean, his theory on where she was hasn't changed.
Did Brian Kohberger already know about Kara
Oh my God,
Kunoto?
I just thought. So if Ethan was attacked in the bed and he was found behind the door, maybe Brian knew that he was trying to get out and might have thought that he'd made it to the living room area.
Oh my God. That was the thud that DM heard, and then he walked past her and left.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
I mean, if he really was found behind the door and they couldn't get into that room, then that would mean that he obviously was still alive and was trying to get out, going towards the door.
Wow. J Lord said September 1st was sorority girls rushing. So there was a lot going on in August, though. I think we can agree to that with Greek Row, August is a busy month. Suzanne says, great catch, potato.
It's kind of creeped me out a bit, to be honest.
So maybe he thought Ethan was behind him, and maybe he heard the thud as well and thought that he fell on the wood floor in the living room.
Yeah. See, everyone
What
says,
time
well,
was the thud?
it can't be him because of where he's placed them, but he wasn't there the whole time, was he? So he's probably just thinking
Yeah, that's crazy.
where he ended up.
So the original question was thoughts on this body placement. Did we even know anything about body placement at this?
Oh, no, what date? No, we didn't know anything, did we?
We knew
that they were
nothing.
found in their bedrooms, but we didn't know who was where.
And then someone comments and says, I think, because that was probably pretty graphic for December 9th. I mean, we were still absorbing that the crime occurred. And then he comes in hot with a map of where the bodies could be when we have no
You're
idea
awesome.
where they could
And
be.
plus, at that time, didn't we think that they'd all, like, it had happened in their sleep, so they were in bed. And then he
Yes.
comes out with one of them not in bed.
Yes. So with Kathy Mabutt saying they were all sleeping and then stating they had defensive wounds means they were sleeping when he arrived, but he woke them up and they fought back. So some of them had defensive wounds by her saying that, but she did not say anything about where. She said they were all in bed sleeping.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything about them, getting up and being in another room, found around the house. And then
Nope.
this dude comes out with this map, and this girl's like, I think we should give them the dignity they deserve and not theorize on where their bodies were. And then Pappa Rodgers is all cold. This is a discussion of the case. You are participating by choice. I don't think LE would talk to an innocent person in the group like that.
No.
And where did this picture of Pappa Rodgers come from? Like, I know Brian Kohberger's dad was in the military, or grandfather was in the military. World War II, I think.
Well, if this isn't Brian Kohberger, and that picture looks so much like Brian Kohberger, it makes it even more creepy.
Brian
It
Kohberger.
looks just like him, but old.
It looks exactly like him.
Yeah, I mean, you can't mistake that schnoz.
Uh-uh.
And then someone fires back, Pappa Rodgers, the 4 victims. Wait. The 4 victims didn't participate by choice. You are one sick individual. Glad you are locked up. Does anyone else wonder how the blood ran down the base of the house? How does that happen? Gravity.
Another cold answer.
I know, just one word. Gravity.
Yeah.
Pappa Rodgers, I'm talking about the blood from inside the house ending up on the outside of the house. Rolling eyes. I can't imagine being so bored. I go into a discussion group, being an ass to people for asking questions and discussing things. I've seen your name on a lot tonight, winky face. Now, what is this?
That's the picture from inside the cabinet.
Is that blood?
Well, that's what people were questioning, whether it was blood running down, but who knows?
I've never seen that so close up. Ugh. Did he share this as well?
Yes.
Oh, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. And he shared this one?
Yep.
See, now this is the one I showed the other night
Mm-hmm.
where the box, when I had the really clear one and I zoomed in on it, not live, but on my computer, and that open box has like shoes and clothes in it, and the side of the box says 100 hangers. So it's like someone maybe used that to move or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could have been Kaylee's stuff because she was moving out.
Right, right. And I wonder if some of Jack's things were in there as well. Teresa says, is that ahead? No, it's BTK's face on toast. Oh my gosh. I feel like blood ran down a few places, but it has been suppressed. The kitchen was dripping blood, but they won't admit it. And if that's something that only LE knows and him,
Mm-hmm. I mean, we still don't know if there was any blood in the kitchen.
no, we don't. Mike McDowell says videos were taken from outside the house through the window, showing the forensic team in front of that good vibe sign stepping over something on the floor. So I can see the Pappa Rodgers speculations. Well, maybe that was where they found the shoe print. Maybe they were stepping over that area and spraying it with luminol. I don't know. It's been suppressed. That's like a law enforcement word. Like it's been suppressed by law enforcement. Then this chick goes, Pappa Rodgers, did you know this because you were there, Brian? And then this chick goes, I feel like it's him. Mind blown. 100%. Creepy. Pappa Rodgers, you're messed up. Only the killer would know that the kitchen was dripping blood. Then he says, I feel like the white car isn't relevant.
Which is funny because December 7th was when police announced that they were looking for the white Elantra. So 2 days later, he's like, yeah, this isn't relevant.
So after it was announced?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is an attorney word too, Joe. You're right. But I think LE does use that word, suppress. But it is a court word. You're right. Ann W says if there was blood in the kitchen, BF and DM would have seen that right away. What do you think of that? It was dark. You know, they wouldn't have seen it if it was dripping down the cabinet and it's dark. You're not going to see it right away. And if they didn't go in that room,
And yeah, so it said that BF didn't go upstairs at all. So she wouldn't have seen anything. And we don't know how DM got out. Like, did she even go in the kitchen area? I can't see that she would. If she'd gone downstairs, she wouldn't need to go into that area at all.
I have a theory. Hang on.
Go for it.
Okay, so my theory is, you know how the PCA says that Dylan originally went to bed, went to sleep in her bedroom? And we've
Yep.
always been like, okay, originally means she ended up somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
The picture of when they have the front door open and the shower curtains all messed up. Is it possible? I have a theory that Dylan escaped from her room and locked herself in that bathroom. Or was in that bathtub or something. Or Creepburger hid in that bathtub.
Brian.
Yeah, Creepburger.
When? Before
Yeah.
Before they got back.
Brian Kohberger.
Just a theory.
See, I don't think that he was in there before they got back.
You don't.
No, I just can't forget the pings and his vehicle. Like, they obviously knew that was his vehicle on the surveillance cameras. So he was at home until, like, what was it, 2:42 a.m.?
True. But something just sticks with me about that curtain. That shower curtain was kind of all messed up, and it was kind of off the, like the little clips that hang it. It was disrupted. It was like disturbed,
Yeah. I mean, she could have gone in there. I mean, it does seem strange. Like, if you'd stayed in your room all night until the next morning, then you've been in your room all night. You didn't start in your room and then end up somewhere else. So I think the wording is in there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But just, it's when she left, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. Did she like run out of there after she saw him like pass her? Did she figure, oh my God, he left? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just, it doesn't really fit because Bethany was down there sleeping. Why not run? If you're going to go to that bathroom, why not just go the extra few
Go
feet?
to her.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she had her door locked and, she could have had earbuds in or something, so wouldn't necessarily hear that Dylan was there. So maybe the bathroom was the only place that she could go and hide again.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she hollered out, or maybe she was scared to holler out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I just feel like there's got to be a reasonable, logical explanation for her not doing anything before, whether it was being scared or that she couldn't. So
yeah, and I think that there will be. I think it'll make sense when it all comes out.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think it's all gonna tell like a story. So he says here, a person responds, says, then issue an alert for a white car of incredible interest. And then Pappa Rodgers says, you are quite crazy. Are you okay? 4 weeks in and no suspects. What is the motive? You can take it from here.
Personal vendetta. No evidence. We don't know what the evidence is. It's as good a guess as any other. My theory, ex-boyfriend didn't want to lose the dog and was sick of the games Kaylee was playing. Parents admitted to her playing games with him. He killed everyone else to isolate her, to potentially say something to her. Multiple people are covering for him and are under immense pressure currently by Ellie. His alibi and the driver of the Elantra. Supposedly he was staying at a friend's.
I feel like that's a fake Blowburger account.
Yeah, try and point the direction
He's
towards
Jack.
The ex.
Because the ex would be the first person they look at. They would look at who's in that house and the ex.
Mm-hmm. And it's what everyone else was thinking as well. I mean, we all thought it. The ex-boyfriend, it's like the first thing you think of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. CR, thank you for donating a membership. And Jammers got it.
Yay.
Yay, Jammers. Jammers.
So is that a joint?
I wanted to show
Or
a
is it a cigar?
photo before we go on, before I forget. and it kind of goes alongside with the inside looking. This is the photo of Kaylee that looks like it was taken from a surveillance. I know we've shown this before. You probably can't see it. I'm sharing it on the other screen, but you've seen it before.
Yeah, and I also found it when I was looking for Inside Looking's posts as well.
Did you? So
Yeah.
what's interesting to me is that on the top it says Moscow, November 13th at 3:10 a.m. The calls to Jack stopped at 2:56, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So, who was calling Jack and what is she doing in this picture? Because I've heard it speculated that she was tied up in a chair upstairs. Now, I don't know where this is taken, but it definitely looks like Kaylee. It looks like her hair. And it looks like she's, wearing a cami. And it looks like her arms are, her hands, like her arms are like kind of behind her a little bit. But you can't say for sure. Do you have any idea in the house where this could have been taken just by looking?
Well, how would it have been taken? Like through the window?
Through a camera that was installed inside the house.
Inside the house?
Yeah, inside looking. So I feel like when he was outside looking, that was when he was peering through the windows from the back, sitting back in those trees, looking through, because Maddie had that view right into her room from that parking area, like that back little alley. And so did Kaylee. You could see right in there. So outside looking, I feel like he was outside looking in. Inside looking,
What?
I feel like he had gotten in there. I feel like he'd been in that house. And I think that he put cameras in there. And I think he was watching in real time. That's what I think.
Well, knowing what we know about what he did with that other person and the surveillance stuff, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of speculation to think he might have done that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does match their doorknobs and their hinges.
Where was this picture posted to, though?
It was posted to Reddit, Inside Looking, and the name of the file that he uploaded was step1.jpg. So was step 1 to tie Kaylee up? It was called step1.jpg. He named it that. And then I go back to his, questionnaires. What did you do first?
So I'm thinking if it really is anything to do with it.
I just had a thought.
So did I.
You can get thermostats that have cameras in them. You can get things that look like something belongs on the wall.
Oh, you can get cameras in absolutely everything.
And you can have them be as small as the tip of a pen.
Yeah.
No, this isn't a cartoon, Joe. This isn't a cartoon. This is a screenshot from someone's phone or something that they screenshot and it says Moscow. It's from an iPhone. Unless, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. And Clive says it's too ironic to be innocent. Danielle said, I've always thought that he was at the Halloween party with a mask on and placed cameras.
Oh, that's a creepy thought.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about all of the...
Okay, it is what it is.
I forgot about all of the Halloween photos because they had several costumes. They went to several parties, I think. Yes, I definitely think that he put cameras in their house. I really do. 51 terabytes, don't lie. Okay, let's move on. I just wanted to share that.
I was going to say that if she really was, like if this really was her tied up, then it would mean that someone else was involved because it couldn't have been him in the house at that time.
Wait, say that again?
If she was the theory that she was tied up to a chair and it was 3:10, then it couldn't have been him because he wasn't there at that time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It would mean someone else was involved. I personally don't think that anyone else was.
I don't either.
And I don't know what that picture is or
But
where the
Brian,
theory came from that she was tied up.
but Brian Kohberger has been known to be a manipulator. So we don't know if he let someone use his car. I mean, I don't know what he did. I know you're more logical about it. I just think that inside looking, definitely step1.jpg. No one's going to fake that. We didn't even know like what went on when he posted inside looking. We didn't even know who he was. And here he comes in hot with a picture of Kaylee. Step one.
But also, it could not be Kaylee, though, because we can't see her face, so you can't 100% say
True.
if it's her or just someone
That's
who
true.
has hair like her. And to be honest, lots of young girls do.
He had no friends, says Teresa. But I believe that was him sitting at that table, so there could be guys that he talked to. Not that he confided in about his sick fantasies, but that he, other outsiders, other people that didn't have any friends. I mean, he had friends in high school. It's not like he didn't find someone to hang out with. But
Well, even if they weren't friends, I mean, he'd have acquaintances because he was studying and he was doing his what do you call it, PhD.
well, he went to the pool party. I want to know about that pool party so bad.
Yeah.
All right, here comes another one. Here's Pappa Rodgers. No evidence. Why was a knife the weapon of choice? He wants to hear what everybody has to say. How long do we think the killer was in the house? The 12th.
Oh, this one is interesting.
The 12th of December, guys. How long do we think the killer was in the house? Do we think the killer took anything from the house? Do you? Pappa Rodgers says, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So he took a trophy or more. What do we think is the height and weight of the killer on the 13th?
So the thing about taking things from the house, remember ID cards were found.
Yes. Yes.
Which they said were connected, but they haven't said whether they were actually the victims, but they could be.
Yes, that's what Clive just said. The ID.
Mm-hmm.
J. Lord, they stated repeatedly nobody was bound. Right, but that could have been for the perps benefit too. And then this person says 5'1" and 386. He says, okay. Pappa Roger, just an odd question, so gave a nonsensical answer. Pappa Roger, to answer seriously, male between 5'6" and 6'3", maybe 165 to 235. In other words, could be a make of any height or weight. Giant range. Yes, height, weight have nothing to do with it, in my opinion. It's a male, in my opinion, but their height, weight doesn't matter. Have met some smaller dudes that are 5'6" and 160 soaking wet that could fight wrestle a 6 foot 220-pound guy and still whoop their ass. Here's Papa. It matters if you are creating a profile of a very violent killer. Disturbing. Cops need to share info or we can play the guessing game. 6 foot tall, 350.
You're awesome.
You ask the weirdest questions. This doesn't even matter. Okay. I think you struck a nerve with your response. Is the killer still in Moscow, Idaho right now, December 13th?
You're awesome.
So I think that this post was actually December 12th, but because I'm ahead, if it was posted at night, then it would be the 12th, but it's showing me, for me, the 13th, because comments further down said that this was posted on the 12th, and there was also a post on Reddit, I think it was, that was the 12th, and they said it was the same day. So I'll say this is the 12th and not the 13th, like it's showing there.
Okay. So you were just a little ahead in time.
I'm just in the future.
Back to the future. Is the killer still in Moscow, Idaho on the 12th of December? And he had just left.
Yeah, so he was seen in Colorado on the 13th, was it? I've written it down somewhere. Where's that picture?
Let me put it up on the screen. Hold on. Let's look at it.
So we didn't know when he'd left or anything at this time.
No, because they got pulled over on the 15th. We didn't even know
Yeah.
when they got pulled over. We didn't find that out till later.
We didn't know anything.
Mm-mm. Okay. Let me get it up here. Where you can also see it. Okay, here we go. Go take it away, potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
Yeah, so December 13, a license plate reader caught his vehicle in Loma, Colorado. So he had posted, or Pappa Rodgers had posted on the 12th asking if he was still in Moscow, and he would have left on the 12th.
That is really fucking creepy. Okay, so let's go back to the Pappa Rodgers thing. Does it say a time? Oh, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's so interesting to me because if he left on the 12th, did him and Dad like drive all day, and then did they stop somewhere, and then he started
Well,
posting?
if they'd left on the 12th, it's like 14-hour drive to get to Loma, Colorado. So
Kind of makes sense.
he would have had to be driving the whole time.
And then this person says he's still in Moscow. He's comfortable there. He was comfortable to kill there. He got his targets. Now he wants to live without the targets. Why would he run? He's so psycho. He feels like he's won, and no one knows. He will get caught, though, and someone will talk. Let's see if he responds to this one. 13th or 12th of December. Occupation of the killer. He doesn't even respond to like what they said. He just wants
He
their
does at some
opinion.
point.
He like wants their opinion on everything. What do they think about what I did? Occupation of the killer. No, I think someone very much in their presence, but not exactly in their inner circle. I just don't see him running. He's in plain sight, but yet discreet. Pappa Rodgers, I believe for a period of time, yes, to idolize his work. If he's a student, then no. I feel the killer lives in the area when school is in session. Former profiler Chris McDonough feels the killer was definitely familiar with the property. Now he responds.
Oh, his response. I believe they are familiar, but temporary to the area, like work in a short-term construction project. Who was temporary to the area? Brian Kohberger.
Brian Kohberger.
Brian Kohberger.
All right, now we're getting into the 4chan.
Oh, it was 4chan.
Yes. This girl shares this screenshot and she goes, y'all, do you remember the 4chan post in green that was made on December 12th? And this post was also made on December 12th. That was the nasty one.
Yeah.
About Kaylee, right?
Yep. I have put it in there as well, but I did cross out the...
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want to show that.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talk about this one. I'm going to go grab another Diet Coke.
Yeah, so December 12th, he'd written horrific things about what had been done to Kaylee, but also had written, I'm hiding in the woods in Shithole, PA, Good luck catching me. So it was posted the same day that he had left to go back to PA. Just pretty crazy.
I'm back.
You're awesome.
I'm
No.
hiding in the woods in shithole PA.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell how he feels
See,
about PA.
and for someone to post that as well and it not be him,
Right.
how would they know exactly where he was going on December 12th, on the same day that he was leaving to go back
They
there?
wouldn't. And maybe Ellie
They
wouldn't
wouldn't,
have
exactly.
known that.
No, well, they didn't because they didn't have him yet, apparently.
They say, yeah. Do you think
They
they
say they
do you
didn't.
think they did?
Well, they had his name, didn't they? Because they'd found the vehicle. WSU campus police had found his vehicle on like November 28th, and they'd linked it back to him because they found his car at his apartment as well. So they had his name.
And I wonder if they put two and two together with see, that's the thing. Okay. That might be the clincher to the August 21st thing. Is that he was living in Pullman, but he got pulled over in Moscow, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
if he was on Moscow's radar, Pullman may not have known it at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's exactly the kind of shit that Bundy did. He would like take a victim from somewhere and then he would like drop her remains like 3 states away. He was so gross that he would literally have the remains in the car and he would drop like a head in one state. And then he'd drop
Disgusting.
like another body part in another area. Like totally random. And it was so hard for them to put it together and even know who did this. You know?
Mhm.
It was so confusing. So the first part that's X'd out here talks about hanging body parts from ceiling fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there's any ceiling fans in that King Road house.
I don't know.
Like upstairs, there may be. Because like in the summer, upstairs houses, like the upstairs gets really hot. You know, the heat rises. So I could see maybe if they had them upstairs, but I don't think they had them downstairs from the pictures I saw.
No, it didn't look like it. Belinda said, "Do we know 100% that Pappa Roger is Brian?"
Mm-mm.
And no, we don't. But the similarities between what Pappa Rodgers is saying and what we know now about what Brian was doing at the same time kind of makes you question whether it was the same person.
Right. I mean, no one would have known that, some of this stuff, like the sheath. I mean, that's,
Oh,
no pun intended, but that's a stab in the dark.
yeah. And especially this stuff about him going back to PA. No one had a clue. So for it to be exact, it kind of tells me, possibly was him.
And these people say, what does it say? I can't see half of it. And then this person goes, it's horrific. The part exposed is what I'm talking about. Him hiding in PA. The white car is a red herring. December 14th. Mr. Owl says, I don't think so, but why do you think so? What a dick. You talking to yourself? Okay, go ahead.
Pappa Roger. So we're looking for a white sedan, which is the most common color and shape in the country. Tell me about your thoughts.
My God. Here we go. Here's Mr. Owl. Is he Mr. Owl too?
Well, it's being common, maybe how it wound up in this mess, statistically speaking. But if law enforcement is using it as a misdirection, why? To what end? I think he wants people to think that it was misdirection because he's driving in it. He's currently on his way to PA.
Wait, what did he say here?
Well, it's being common. Maybe how it. Oh no, I just read that one.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe to misdirect the nonsense, a filter, if you will.
A filter, if you will. It's possible. I feel like he's the owl. I feel like he was talking to himself.
Some people did say that it seemed like he had multiple accounts in the group and was having conversations with himself.
Why? To what? I rewound. Hold on. I want to see Mr. Owl again. Misdirect the nonsense. Then this girl goes, you can't just post wild shit like this and not explain why. Why is it so wild to say? Because law enforcement just love their tip lines being out of control for a red herring. They've got so much spare time to throw out red herrings. I roll till they get stuck in the back of my head. Oh, it's P-A-P-P-A. I've been spelling it P-O. I'm slow. What's a red herring? Smells like dead fish? Fuck does that mean?
Who knows? But I mean, what kind of a response is that?
I don't know, but we found out he worked at the fish
Oh
farm.
God, I didn't even think of that.
You don't hold account.
He worked at the fish farm. Fish farm. You know what is so weird? Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. It's going to kind of be a spoiler.
Awesome.
But in the next part of the Howard Blum that's premiering on Tuesday that I read through, Howard Blum gets on the phone with Emma Bailey and Demetrius's friend. And their friend tells Howard Blum that he was getting ready to go into business with Dee. And that Dee and Emma do not sell drugs. And then Howard Blum said, what business? And he said, a fucking fish farm. I shit you not. He told Howard Blum a fish farm in Colorado. And Howard Blum said, is a fish farm popular? You know, is that something you do in Colorado? And the guy never answered his question. But he's bringing up dead fish. He's worked at a fish farm. And then Sarah Holmes says that a red herring does smell like dead fish per Google. And Sarah Holmes said unsub is a lot on the show Criminal Minds. Are you muted?
Sorry, I had to go to the door.
Oh, it's okay. I was
back now.
just making sure I didn't lose you.
I just didn't hear what you said.
No, I was just making sure I just said are you still there? That's all.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
I was just slowing down chat a little bit. We've got 1,100 of you here. Thank you for being here, and make sure you hit that like.
So Kristen just said that Pappa Rodgers is not Brian because the account posted in a group 2 days ago. There is another account that is called Pappa Rodgers and looks exactly the same, but they're not the same, and it's at the end of this video.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about when this account popped back up and you were able to get all these.
Well, I noticed on the 30th, I think it was, of July. And so I just grabbed everything. I just screen recorded all of his stuff. So I put into the search for the group his name. So when you do that, it only brings up posts by Pappa Roger. And then you can go into his actual Facebook account and it'll show all of the posts that he's made in the group as well. So you can match them up and see that it's the same person that's posting it.
Sure.
And then when the account was gone again, because it had disappeared a couple of days later, all of those posts are now gone. You can't see any of them. So
Gone.
it was that one account that was making those posts. So all of these here are this one Pappa Roger doing these posts, and the other Pappa Roger is not the same person. That one hasn't made any posts anywhere, apart from obviously he's commented on his Facebook. He put a post up on his Facebook saying that he was going to accept friend requests, but it's not the same one. And you can tell the difference between them as well, because the Pappa Roger that was posting in the group has Facebook points on his, like, underneath his picture, so you can see how many points he's accumulating. I don't know what that is,
Why
but I
are
googled it and
people
it said you
such
can get points
idiots?
for, like, you can get points for, I don't know, comments or likes and stuff like that. And the other Pappa Rodgers
You're awesome.
Facebook profile doesn't have that.
And you said that was July 31st?
July 30th.
30th?
Yeah.
And, just to, piggyback on that,
You're
on
awesome.
July 12th, on July 13th, they sealed 3 Meta search warrants.
Mm-hmm.
So they sealed 3 Meta search warrants. They got information back. Whatever they requested from Meta, they received and sealed on the 13th. And then fast forward a week and a half later, or 2 weeks later, the account is activated for a short time and is private when it's activated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a little coincidental that they get information back from Facebook, and then all of a sudden someone's logging in to take a look-see at Pappa Roger, and then it's gone again.
Yeah, I mean, it was only active a couple of days and there wasn't any other post made. So you'd think that if it was someone just messing around, they'd say something in the group maybe.
Yeah.
Or somewhere to say, like, fooled you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gone again.
So
So,
I think-
why would it be gone again?
Well, my thought is this, okay? So, like, the prosecution has to do a search warrant from Facebook to see what's in these accounts, whether it's Pappa Roger or, the victims or whoever. So let's say, just theoretically speaking, they requested Pappa Rodgers info. The state gets a link back from Meta where they can go and retrieve all these documents and download them. So the state side wouldn't have the login necessarily. They would get a link because it's right there in the warrant when they get it back. There's a link where it says where they can go to retrieve. Like Facebook has its own legal law enforcement link where they put these documents. So it leads me to believe that it could be the defense taking a look at the original
You're awesome.
stuff or downloading the data, activating that account, downloading the original data to do a side-by-side of what Facebook sent over. That's just my theory. I don't know if it's Pappa Roger, but there's plenty of Meta. There's more Meta search warrants than there are victims. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So I was wondering if they would even need to activate it all to be able to have access. Like, would they need to have it public so everyone else can see it as well to get access to it? That's part of the reason why I actually save stuff to read through it. I was trying to find something that would say, well, it can't be him, but I couldn't find it.
Well, I don't think that the prosecution would be the ones that would actually be able to log in. Like, I feel like Brian Kohberger could give them, hey, this is the login to this account. I don't know. I mean, not even maybe to Pappa Roger, but to, his regular Facebook. If he had a personal Facebook, he could give them the login, even if it was a deactivated account. Right? So if Pappa Roger was deactivated, now that there's a crime, and if this was included in a search warrant, then they could get access to that. And like, if you go on your Facebook, you can go and download all of your Facebook data, and it will send it to you in email in a file. So if they wanted to get the orig from the account by logging in how that person did, they could go and download a backup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just interesting that it was just up long enough to kind of go through and maybe do that download, set it up, and wait for it to go through and then deactivate again. But that would mean that he would tell his attorneys, hey, that was me.
Yes.
So I don't know. Interesting. But Harlot Oscara, Potato just explained how she knew it was the orig. I don't know what Ice Queen is saying, but Hello, Miss Barrison. I love saying her last name because she said everybody gets it wrong and I got it right. And I mispronounce everything and I actually got her last name right. Where she was like happy about it. So now I want to say it every time I see her. Pappa Rodgers, dude, you copied my post. What does that mean?
The red herring. So she'd posted about the white elantra being a red herring as well, and he copied her post.
Oh, I mean, there are 500,000 posts. If you want credit, then okay. I've posted this several times. Had to be the smartest and the first.
It's just interesting what he replies to. Like, there's so much stuff that he doesn't reply to that could be important, but he has to reply arguing with people.
Yeah, he like takes it personal. Everyone keeps assuming that the white car is the suspects when all it says is they may have information. Right near the scene and speeding away. Were they speeding? The clerk who found the video of it said it was. Based on what evidence? And then he says, why would I have evidence of a theory? This is a discussion of the case. What? So is it a white elantra or a red herring? And are herrings luxury cars? And he says only in Russia. Possibly a pink snapper. And then he puts, or white snapper. Okay, let's assume your red herring post is accurate for a minute. This is on December 14th. LE knows the extent of public interest in this case, which is worldwide at this time. And many people are under public scrutiny. So they send out a request looking for a very common vehicle, knowing they are going to get tons and tons of calls on. And even Miss Karen over in California is going to call in about her neighbor who owns this car. They simply do not have the manpower or time to do this. Plus, they risk public safety. It's not a red herring. At its very least, it's a lead. At most, it's the suspect. That sounds like him, too. These tips go to a call center. Press 1 for white car tip. What a smartass. And then she puts nope. He's like, okay. No, it's a white car. Herrings are in the sea. And then he says, did that make you feel good?
Gotta come in with those smart answers every single time.
Right? He just never shuts up. Could it be a white Ford Bronco? And then he says, only if the gloves don't fit. Referring to OJ. Go ahead.
4 people are murdered and we get a white sedan. How very special. And she says, you aren't owed anything. This has nothing to do with you. Main character syndrome.
Oh my God.
She had him pegged.
Maybe that was actually him.
It could have been. So December 14. 1 knife and 4 people. The killer took a big risk. The knife could have easily broken off or become ineffective after 1 or 2 murders. Are we sure there is only 1 knife involved?
Oh, shit.
Mm.
You know, and I think that I've heard a lot of talk about that, about the sheath being left behind, you know, and like maybe to make them think it was someone in the military or someone in law enforcement or something, and then using a different weapon on different floors to make it think there's 2 people there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I mean, that would make sense. Like you'd have maybe have 2 weapons. You use one upstairs, use another one downstairs, and it appears that maybe there could be 2 people.
Well, they did recover more knives, didn't they, from his home, but haven't said if they got a K-bar. So there could have been more knives used.
For sure.
And it could have been any of the ones that they took from the home as well.
And there was also a gun recovered. So when he went in, I mean, if they weren't sleeping and he had a gun, that's a very good way to keep people quiet.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. It's moving. It's moving.
Just give it a
I
second.
must have paused it like right when it got to that slide.
We don't know if he was actually. Oh, it's going too fast.
I stopped.
I missed it. We don't know if he was actually after 4 people. Pappa Rodgers. Ethan didn't live there, so that could be a variable.
And this was on what day? The
14th.
Okay.
Kaylee came back for the night, but had recently lived there, Pappa Rodgers said. Yes, but wasn't supposed to be there. In my opinion, Ethan and Xana frat party gone wrong. Pappa said, there are an endless number of witnesses if that is the case. Why is it taking this long?
Why would this person up top think it was a frat party gone wrong? Was there a talk of...
I think there was.
Was there...
Because we knew that they had been to the frat party. I can't even remember what date we knew that they had been to the frat party because there was confusion about where they'd been to start with. Like, they didn't know what the timeline was, did they? So I want to know when we actually found out that they'd been to the frat party. Because I can't remember.
Well, and there was kind of like 2 different thoughts, right? In the beginning, we thought that I think we were told that the surviving roommates were with them at that party.
Yeah, Bethany had seen them. Yeah.
And then
Bethany had seen them at the party at like 9 or something.
Right. And then then it said that then he said Fry said they were out in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So did they leave the frat party and go somewhere else? And is that where Bethany may have seen him and that's why he thinks that she's going to be like some kind of...
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Or did she see him at the frat party? Was he at that frat party? I just don't think so.
No.
I don't think...
There was something about something had happened at the frat party, like a fight or something.
Yeah.
So maybe that was where that came from.
And was it just a frat, just like a stupid drunken fight?
I guess
we don't
they
know.
have that kind of thing all the time, don't they? There's always things happening.
I just feel like if those frat guys that were there, or if all those people at that frat party were like witnesses, we wouldn't be getting interviews from Ethan's frat brothers. I think they would all be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there was a drunken, kind of a brawl or whatever, between drunk guys, and it was just like a typical fight and had nothing to do with the murders.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think.
Kim Franklin says that someone said Ethan got drugged at the frat party. He was not supposed to go with X home. That's why they ordered food. But they got home way earlier from when they ordered food. So I don't know.
Yeah. They were back at like 1:45 or something, was it?
Yeah, they were back before.
No, I don't know though, because Xana's dad had said that she'd spoken to her at like midnight and that they were at home watching a movie.
Right. And then we were talking about that. He could be in a different time zone. It could be like an hour difference because right there is like that line between Pacific and Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was midnight for him, but it wasn't.
It could have been 1 for her. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think he's lying. I think that, whatever he recalls from that call is what he recalls.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to say the time that he received the call as the time he received it and not the time that she made it from where she is.
So no one has accounted for what they did after the frat party. But from what we know, Ethan and Xana walked home from the frat party. And the other 2 surviving roommates were, quote, out in the community.
And not together.
So did one of them DoorDash? Because why wouldn't they be together? Isn't that weird?
I don't know.
Who-
Well, if Bethany
La,
was
la,
at the
la,
frat
la,
house at the
la. You
party
don't hold
and
account-
But whose white car was that in their driveway? Whose white Chevy
know.
was that? It kind of looks like an Elantra, but it's a Chevy.
Mm,
You know the one I'm talking about, the one that was in the driveway.
mhm.
This little white car. How do we know that that little white car wasn't out door dashing or something?
We don't.
It's just weird. Where would Bethany and Dylan be separately while E and X are at the frat party, and then the other 2 girls are old enough to go to the club, so they go to the club. That was Bethany's car, says J Lord.
Oh, it was 1:45 a.m. I thought I'd seen that time somewhere. It's in the PCA.
Yeah, that's what Ice Queen just said.
Mm-hmm.
But they were missing for hours, says Tacos, after they left the party, and Xana was seen on Grub Truck video.
Xana.
Some people think that Xana walks up.
Mm,
I don't know about that.
no, I don't think so.
Jules says, I remember hearing that. So I love hearing, because people remember what they heard back then, you know? I remember hearing that someone saw on the local Facebook page that the fight had something to do with what happened on the 13th, that the frat was well aware. So we do know there was the Betty's Ball that day.
Yep.
And, you know, I found, this is one thing I want, and this is a little off topic, but you know what? This is what we do. We discuss. I thought it was a little interesting that Ethan got all decked out to go to the Betty's Ball with his sister.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Do they usually do that with their sisters? Like the brother
I don't know. I
went,
guess if they had no one to go with, then he kind of like filled in.
but she's got 2 brothers, right?
Mhm,
So
yeah.
the other brother went too. So I'm sure as triplets, they probably thought, oh, we're going to do it all together. So they
Mhm.
probably all went. But isn't it interesting that Xana wasn't invited? Or no, you don't think that's weird? Because that was just like his family gig.
Yeah. I mean, if it was his sisters, then yeah, I could see why she wouldn't be invited.
Are you stirring your tea?
No, it's my pipe in the wall. That's why I muted. I tried
Oh.
to stop it.
You should have just said yes. Tea and crumpet.
I'm stirring my tea.
Oh, I just heard. That's the first time I've heard it.
Yeah. It happens every so often.
But no, I just was thinking about that night. You know, just. All right, let's keep going. Angie just reminded everybody that it's 11:40 in Europe.
It is.
All right, there you go.
There's been talk about Ethan having a confrontation with someone at the party. Pappa Roger, I've heard that, but that would be an easy path to solving this. Yet here we are 30 days later. And the next comment says he was almost bragging.
I just saw that. Weird. Wrapping it up, I think. Wrapping up by trying to have half the nation looking for a white sedan. So he was, if this is him, he was thinking, oh my God, these clowns. Like, these clowns have no idea. They've got half the nation looking for a white sedan. And he knows damn well there's millions of them.
Yeah. I mean, he said that. It's the most popular.
Okay, so then this girl goes, we never know what Ellie is looking for, do we? Notice how no one is wondering where JS is anymore? Deflection. And then he agrees with himself. Okay, so I think
All of
that's him. I think that's him. And then because he agrees with himself. What an ass. He's bringing JS into it. He's bringing JD into it. Who else has he brought into it yet? Just those 2, right? He's kind of alluded to.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's Owl for sure, and I think what was this person's? Oh, we can't say the name. But what's the picture? It's that girl. She kind of looks like Emma Bailey. I wonder if that was
Jeez.
him. He's gonna use Emma Bailey. I'm telling you. Wait for this next episode
Mhm.
from Howard Blum.
Yeah.
Holy shit! He talked to people close to the defense that spoke on their strategy, and he's gonna be bringing them into it. D
Mhm.
and Emma.
It really doesn't surprise me with all the speculation that's been out there already about them.
Well,
The defense are gonna use that.
and that's why I'm wondering if he didn't know about Kara Kernodle and her drugs. And that's why he keeps talking about Xana. Like he wants them to think that Xana, drug. Like he already had like a narrative in his head, I'm sure several, that he could go down if he needed to. And I think that one of them is the drugs, and with Xana and Madison's parents having those connections.
Yep.
Hold on. I want to address somebody in the chat. Actually, not somebody, but everybody. If you have something to say, we definitely want your opinion and your thoughts. So, like Paul, I'm going to use you as an example. He said, Pappa Rodgers is not Brian. I just ask you to kindly say, I don't think Pappa Rodgers is Brian. Because you're stating that like you know that for a fact. And none of us know that for a fact. Unless you're an investigator or you're
Brian Kohberger.
himself. So please stop stating facts as opinions and opinions as facts. Or whatever.
And plus, by doing this, we're not saying that we think it is Brian, but there's so many similarities like between what was actually happening and what was being posted that we didn't have a clue what was happening when these posts were put up.
Yeah, but this person did.
But yeah, exactly. And then afterwards, when you look back at it, it's like, wow, there was actually so much in there. Because we've talked about it before and said, it seemed like it could have been him. But now when you look back at it all together and everything that he'd posted over those days between December 1st and December 22nd matches up to what was actually happening. And then there were no more posts after that.
Yeah. And like Mike C said, rarely are things a coincidence.
Exactly. And for some of these things that he posted about, like, I don't believe that that's a coincidence. The stuff about going back to PA, no one had a clue who Brian was at that point, let alone the fact that he lived in PA. And who would ever think that someone was going to go from Moscow all the way over to PA?
Yeah, I think there comes a point where you just have to put your logical pants on and you got to figure that all these things that have come out since then, it's one or the other. It's one or the other.
It's got to be someone who knew something. It's either someone that was inside or it was him.
All right, here we go with an emoji person. We've got Dara from, remember that? Daria?
Oh, I love that.
I love Daria too. Okay, so here's Daria. I'm going to read it like Daria. I live in a suburb of New York City. Hunting is not really big around here, so I know nothing about knives. Is this style of knife a popular item for most hunters to have?
That was perfect.
That was my best Daria. Okay, go ahead.
Someone says yes.
Yes.
Pappa Rodgers says, I have friends and relatives who carry them on their person 24/7. Most avid hunters and fishers would carry a sheathed knife for their sport. Several also continue this past the sport. It would not be uncommon.
Okay, so coming from someone like me who knows absolutely nothing about knives and sheaths, but I guess hunters would definitely think, all right, you're going to carry that somewhere. Okay, you're going to carry it and you're going to put it somewhere. You're not going to stick it in your pocket and cut yourself. So someone who is familiar with carrying knives is probably going to think about what it was held in or how they transported it. Because something like that, you're not just shoving in your pocket. So, knowing that, I think some of these comments can be explained away because of that. But I think him saying, I'm taking it they found the sheath, that's a little far out there. What do you think? I mean, people who hunt and stuff, they're going to know they're going to have that knife in something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have a clue about knife sheaths and stuff, so yeah.
Mark Klein says a very sharp knife needs it. Yeah, I mean, for the guys or girls in chat that normally carry guns and or knives, would you think about that? Like, when you thought about this crime, did you think about, like, how did, what did he bring the knife in? How did, did he have it in a sheath? Did he have it in a bag? We don't know. J. Lord, hold on. She's on the Emma Bailey. She's on the Emma Bailey bullshit. Hold on. Their cocaine came back from the state lab fentanyl free and cut with bee pollen. Caden had a fentanyl overdose. He died and revived. He signed himself out against medical device. Okay, you are wrong, J. Lord, with all due respect. The cocaine was fentanyl laced. Those people got off on a technicality on the search of their Holiday Inn room. Emma and Dee got off on a technicality with their lawyer. Their lawyer found something in the search of their hotel room the day that Caden died, but the judge dismissed it with prejudice, which means if they get more info, they do more investigating, they can charge them again. So that's whoever's telling you it's bee pollen is out of their mind. Probably the same guy that's telling Mr. Blum that he's going to run a fish farm with Dee. That's crazy.
You're awesome.
No, she didn't clarify. That's not right. Why are you saying that? It's not right. Natasha Webb, thank you for subscribing. Jammers was Daria for Halloween. Why am I not surprised with that? All right, so here comes my HVAC stuff. If the door, this is Pappa Rodgers, December 14th. If the door was left open or the heat wasn't on, are we sure of the timeline of deaths? It was 28 degrees and overcast the night of the murders. Oh, shit.
The devil is dancing tonight.
Here we go. So now we're going to talk about BTK for a second. BTK cranked up the freaking heat and left the door open when he left to screw up the time of death. So he's mentioning right here that it's 28 degrees outside. We know the door was left open now because Christy G confirmed that the door was left open, the back door. So when he went out the back door, he didn't touch it again to shut it. And it was 28 degrees outside. So what's going to happen? The heat's going to just continually run and run and run. But what that also means is that anything, like I was watching a Forensic Files show, and they got an HVAC company to come in and get clean the filter, to preserve whatever was in the vent, in the ducts and the filter, and they took the damn furnace itself. So whatever was sucked up into that furnace and through those air ducts, they were looking for evidence. So, is that why HVAC was there? Because maybe he was thinking, oh, I'll leave the door open. The heat will kick on. And they won't be able to tell when these people died because it's going to be so warm in there that it might seem like they died at 3 a.m. instead of 4. And that might be why
Yes.
the time was off by an hour.
That would make sense.
It would. It would.
Especially because they were there as well, checking the vents.
Mm-hmm. And I go back to that 3 a.m., right? So if the heat made them seem like they died sooner, then they put out the 3 to 4 timeline, and he thinks, "Oh my God,
It worked.
I got him.
Yeah.
I fucking got him." So take me back, Potato. What time did he shut off his phone or put it in airplane mode?
2:58 a.m. I think it was.
2
Or
minutes.
2:48.
Okay,
Something like
so
that.
like at least 10 minutes before what the original time of death was,
Mm-hmm.
which would have went right along with him being there and doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's thinking, all right, well, they're going to try to nail me between 3 and 4 being there, but I've got them. My car's on video over here, and I didn't go in there until after they think it was done.
Yep.
See what I mean? This is what I've been trying to say all along, is that he played so many games, tricks, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, I just totally feel like he left so many, he just zigzagged this whole case. I don't know how else to describe it other than just a pure mind fuck. Sorry, I had to refresh my chat. I wasn't seeing it.
Yeah. So did I.
yours-
Nothing was happening.
No, me either. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I had to close the whole thing out and come back in, and it still wasn't working. It is now, though.
Yeah, it is for me now,
I
too.
think.
Well, it started with Pandora is my first comment I can see. I can't see
Yeah,
anything above that. Is
me
yours doing
too.
the same?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Teresa says right. That's why he asked if anybody else was arrested. Let's see if there was two different weapons used on 2 different floors. Look at everybody froze up.
Yeah.
It was
I know.
it was Russia. It was Russia.
No one got timed out. Everything just froze.
Oh my gosh, everybody, we all froze in time. Could you guys still hear us or no? It was all of us. That was so weird. It even happened in Europe.
Uh-huh. I thought it was my internet.
You're
I
gonna
was thinking,
need
oh my
more
God,
slow
please
in
don't
a
start cutting
second.
out.
Gonna fucking need extra slow in a
It makes me
second.
feel better. It was everyone.
Oh my God, Mikey thinks everybody thinks they were timed out. Look at him. Why am I
Yeah,
punished?
I know.
It's China.
China.
Danielle, another creator, said it was bee pollen. Well, I got to tell you that Howard Blum spoke directly with the detective working their case, and he says they're not giving up on that case. In Caden's name, the detective is furious, and it was a matter of like different jurisdictions fucked it up. So the dude ingested the cocaine in one jurisdiction, and they arrested Dee and Emma in another jurisdiction, and they were supposed to prosecute them where it was ingested, and they didn't. So that and some other thing on the room search, the lawyer took it in, and the judge dismissed it. And this detective, Howard Blum said, is furious. And he said that he is not letting this one go. So whoever's saying bee pollen is probably stuck in a frozen shock phase and needs to FDO because it's not true. Bee pollen. They're just making shit up, and like they heard it was dismissed, so they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna say it was bee pollen." Like, what? They're all gonna laugh at you. Downtown Llama says, "Are we sure the heat was left on? What if the killer wanted it cold to throw off the time of death?" I don't know. I mean, if it was, dude, you guys, if the heat was cranking, Bethany and Dylan would have been so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But maybe they were, and maybe Bethany was, or Dylan was still too scared. You're welcome, SRB. I love when you guys bring stuff in, though. I'm just glad that I read that article because I wouldn't have known that was BS. I would have maybe fell for the bee pollen.
She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house.
Oh, Stacy D says, I can't remember the temperature last Saturday. Interesting that Papa remembered the weather so clearly that night if he wasn't the perp.
That is a good point. Also, when did we find out that the door was left open? When did Christy confirm that had been left open?
With drunk
Do we
turkey.
know?
With drunk turkey, she did.
When was that? Was that before or after this post?
Well, this post, way after. He just talked to her.
So he mentions the door being left open and also heat. And we didn't know anything about the door or the HVAC at that time.
But we did hear that the door was wide open from neighbors, remember? The front door. And then Chief Fry said,
yeah.
I don't know. He was like, I don't know anything about the front door. That was weird. I
Hmm.
think he was caught off guard. I don't think he knew maybe that was out there and he didn't expect that
You're
question.
awesome.
But he
Uh-huh.
was caught off guard and he was like, I don't know anything about the door. And I'm thinking, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, they would have.
Savastra. Is it okay to have questions, Streamlabs? It is, Savastra. You can have all the questions you want. I want to know what creator said that mess about bee pollen. I'm just curious. SRB, wasn't there a very early rumor of someone walking a dog that morning and said it was open? Yes, I think it was a neighbor. All right. Let's get back to that. That is interesting, though, because that HVAC company pulled up, and I'm like, wow. Then I come across Brian Kohberger's job application, and he's like, I did HVAC with my dad, and I
Yeah.
did a year of HVAC in high school, and it's
Mhm.
HVAC. And it's like, what? Did he really do HVAC with his dad? Or was that just kind of a filler in between jobs, you know? When we're young like that, we kind of bullshit on our applications to make it look like we don't have gaps. Oh, I did side jobs with my dad. Bee pollen? Mark Klein loves asking 8-ball questions. Mark Klein, I need to send you your own 8-ball so you can shake it when I'm not around, when I'm not live.
In your spare time.
No.
I'm missing the ball.
Mark Klein can do the replays and just have his 8-ball and shake it during the replay. I love you, Mark. You know that. All right, let's see what's after this. Degrees. Not a new post from me, but still very relevant. He brings it up again.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How
And this
long-
time he actually answers.
How long do you think? 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
On what date was that? December 14?
14th. He was
Yeah.
posting a lot while the trek across the country was happening.
Mm-hmm. And there was also a Reddit post that also said 15 minutes in the house.
And who would
From
ever think
inside
like
looking.
that someone could do it in 15 minutes and even say
Yeah.
that?
I mean, what did we all think when it came out that it was between 4:04 and 4:20? We thought, how could you possibly do all this in that time? And then he's just like, yeah, 15 minutes.
Look what St. Jenny said in chat. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
If you say Ferris Bueller, you lose a testicle.
Yeah, in my best Don Wells voice. Oh my God, Danielle has an 8-ball app. They have it. Mark Klein, you have to download it. We need an 8-ball emoji for Mark Klein. All right, so now we have that proving it was about 15 minutes. How did the killer leave the scene? Did he clean up at all? 14th still. Dude, we don't know. Speculation. That's all he says.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's that survey thing. See, the questions he's asking match up with the survey that we had no clue about.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say about
Yeah.
step 1.jpg. Like all of
Yeah.
that goes with what did you pre-plan? What did you do before you went in? You know, what did you do in the months or weeks or days before you made your move? You know, all those things matter to him.
And even this wording, the wording of his post is exactly the same as the wording in that survey. How did you leave the scene?
And he posted this on the 13th himself.
Yes. Yep.
Before leaving, is there anything else you did? Oh God, here we go with the fight me. That's where I got that from. I was saying that for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Fight me. I'd send you a picture and I'd be like, fight me. Tell me that's not her. And it wasn't.
And I'd be like, yeah,
if I ever meet Potato, she's going to beat my ass because I must have said fight me and been wrong so many times. Oh my God. Fight me. Ellie is no closer to solving this than they were 30 days ago? ? So he says fight me like he's got facts. And then he puts a question mark. Typical Brian Kohberger. He's so unsure of himself, but wants to come across as sure of himself. Fight me. Still on the road with Dad, too. And then this lady says, they just said on the news he always wanted to fight, and this post says, fight me. So creepy. And then this guy says, and he's always asking for thoughts, just like his survey wanted, thoughts and feelings. 32 days and no motive, same as day one. On the 16th.
December 16.
So
what happened on December 16?
He was still traveling. He didn't pull
he
up.
was still traveling.
Yes. Yes. So the question is, would this be before the stops in Indiana that made him shit his pants or after? Or it was after, because that was the 15th.
Yeah, it was after. He was back in Albrightsville on the 16th because him and Daddy Kohberger were seen at the repair shop getting his car serviced.
Wow. Okay. So was that Daddy Kohberger just being Daddy Kohberger and going, okay, we just drove it across the country?
Yeah.
Like
let's just make
the
sure
day we get
car's
back?
okay.
I mean, fuck. How about going inside and sleeping for a minute? That's a little weird. Wait, Mark Klein, real justice always said fight me. If anyone remembers him from the Chris Watts case, just saying. Did he really? He was kind of a douche, though, too. Do you think it was Brian Kohberger, Mark? Ask your ape Paul.
Jeez.
Dude, have you seen Real Justice since Brian Kohberger got arrested?
No.
I haven't either. What was his name before Real Justice? Because he used to come in and be like, hey, Jay, he called in a lot. Russell, what are you talking about? Russell the love muscle. What's your problem with my... What is wrong with... He's talking about my hashtags. Like, why are you looking at my hashtags?
What's wrong with the hashtags?
They're saying that I spelled them wrong. They're just fucking with me. I didn't. What is your deal? What do you want from me? Russell, the little love muscle. What do you want?
If you say Ferris
Wait,
Bueller,
I got a
you lose
sound
test.
bite for Russell's love muscle.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
You know it's Bobbitt. He was funny, but have you seen him since December 30th? Oh, I can't remember his name. He had a name before that. Mikey, chill. Streamlabs is my man. Don't be talking back to Streamlabs. What's up, Moto Man? Jammers.
John Wayne Bobbitt's
Say it.
penis.
Oh, potato. She's probably red as a damn tomato right now. So
as I started saying it, I was like,
I'm like, say
gonna have
it.
to say that word.
Say it.
Darn it.
Clipping that shit. I won't get that again, guys.
Oh god. I always forget that you can clip stuff. And it's there forever.
It is forever and ever. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I think this might be Blowburger.
So motive just means a reason for doing something. There is a motive for getting out of bed in the morning. Obviously, the killer had a motive. We just don't know what their motive was. Pappa Roger, my statement. Day 32 and no motive. So what is the motive on day 32?
Go ahead.
I've done it.
No, and then there's another one. She said there
I
seems to
can't
be.
see it. Oh. Don't
Oh,
mind me.
it's midnight. It's 12:06. She's gonna turn into a pumpkin soon.
I looked away from the screen and I
Her
looked
little-
back and I could still see day
A
32. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm
carriage.
done."
A carriage is coming.
There seems to be some disconnect here. The motive for what exactly on day 32?
Mm. Do we know what he
He's
had?
very
Yeah.
It's very keen on knowing what people think about the motive. Like, it was day 30, now it's day 32.
Yeah, he wants to know what people are thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
He's so fascinated by all their theories.
Yep.
Say it louder for the people in the back. Says, I find nothing weird about posts from a criminology student concerning any of this. If it's him, do we know for certain? Potato, can you clarify again?
No,
We're saying it louder
we
for the
don't
people in
know.
the back. Literally.
We don't know who Pappa Roger is. We are just reading through all of his posts and picking up on the similarities between what Brian was doing at the time. What we know now compared
Thank
to
you.
what was being said back then.
I should clip that and just keep replaying it. Meg has a really good question. So on the Carfax, back to the Elantra and him and Daddy Kohberger being at the repair shop, did he change his tires real quick? Because we all know that they were measuring the tire tracks in the road.
Mm-hmm. I thought he did have them changed.
So he had new tires put on the day he gets back. I wonder if he actually needed them or if he punctured one on purpose so Daddy Kohberger would take him and bomb a new tire.
Mm-hmm.
His poor dad. If he did that to him, like tricked him like that, that is just shit. I think we did all fall down the rabbit hole for a second there. We all froze. We're like, let us out. We're down here with Pappa Roger. Help me.
Yikes.
Help me.
For donuts.
Why were 4 people murdered? What is the motive? She says the killer had their own motive or it would not have occurred. We just don't know what that motive was. Wait, shit. I missed it. We don't know what that motive was. Everything anyone does has a motive. And he says, but we don't have that. And then he goes, do they? And then he goes, day 32. If they know a motive, why isn't there a suspect? I can't believe you people.
You people.
Like he's above them.
Yeah,
You
he's
people.
not one of those people. It's them. You people stupid.
You people stupid. I'm Brian Kohberger. Go ahead.
The killer most definitely had a motive. We as the general public just do not know what that motive was. Pappa Rodgers says, great, what is the motive? He's so cocky.
Very.
He's like, okay, whatever, but
And then
what is
here
the
he
motive?
comes again. What you got? They still don't have a motive. What you got? He says.
It's kind of interesting as well. This is the time when Brian would have been back in PA, probably thinking, I'm out of there. Like, they still
Yes.
don't know who did it, and there's still no motive. So,
Yeah, that's totally what
It's done.
that's what I was thinking. Like he got back to PA and he had gotten through those 2 traffic stops and he thought
yeah.
they've got the FBI involved. If they thought it was me, there's no way I would have gotten through those 2 traffic stops.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Especially with those traffic stops and being stopped twice. He was probably thinking, they have no idea.
Right.
They're looking for a white car and I'm driving one, but they have no idea that it's me.
So I wonder when he started wearing gloves, or if he always wore gloves when he got back, or if he started wearing gloves. There was
Oh,
something.
I think he was wearing gloves the whole time when he was in Washington and when he got back.
You think he
Because
wasn't
they couldn't
taken?
find. Well, did they go through his trash in Washington? I mean, they couldn't find his DNA anywhere.
Even in his office at WSU. Isn't that just crazy? I mean, that's why his hands look
Yeah.
like they do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not.
Which makes it seem makes it seem suspicious as well that you can't find DNA where you expect to find it. That says a lot in itself.
Yeah, I just put his hands up, and it's like he was hiding a lot of things, I think, under those gloves, because those knuckles look injured to me. Say it louder for the people in the back. Says, could you post a profile picture of Mark Furman next to Pappa Rodgers? I can't right this second because we're going through these, but I can definitely do that later. Do you think that he mixed himself with Mark Furman? Oh my God. If he like morphed him and Mark Furman together, I'm going to shit. Because we all know that Mark Furman was part of what fucked up OJ, right? The OJ case. It was. So he wants to know again. Great. What's the motive? Day 32. We don't have a motive. What else you got? Cocky, like you said.
Yep.
Go ahead.
But they don't have a suspect, and they know the but do they? Oh, wait. But they know the motive.
Wait, I went back.
How do you know they don't have a suspect? They do not always release that information to the public. Day 32, they have a.
That must have been when you fell asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It says day 32. They have a
They
suspect.
have
Can you see it?
a suspect. Yeah, they have a suspect while also telling people to be vigilant.
With a bunch of question marks. Go ahead.
I will agree. There is a chance of anything. I don't know if they have a suspect or not, but I do know that sometimes in these cases, when they do not have a suspect but not enough evidence to make an arrest, they don't point the finger at that person for them to take off and run.
And he said, you can't run from this. It flashed. It flashed.
Flashed.
Like, wow.
Like, wow.
I flashed and said, wow, pretty far out.
Go ahead.
I thought it was pretty far
Not
out.
forever, but we had 8 members of one family murdered in their sleep, all in the same night. Where I live. It took 2 years before arrests were made. Sometimes it takes time to get it right. Pappa Rodgers.
8 members of one family murdered in their sleep? Where did that happen?
No idea.
That's horrific.
It is. Right, so at day 32, what is the motive? Well, I'm not a killer and I'm not law enforcement officer, therefore I do not have answers for you.
Do you think that law enforcement knew this was him or maybe thought maybe it was him? And they were I mean, I'm sure they were reading in here. We all know they go in these big
must
groups.
have been. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think law enforcement were probably in all the discussion groups. I think they probably noticed him as well.
Well, I know they do because when my friend, like I said, that her daughter was murdered, I was called by the prosecutor and because I owned the group, and he called and told me they were in there and they were posting and they were saying things and I was blocking them. And he was like, don't block anybody right now. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, holy shit. And this was back in like 2014. So gosh, I mean, look how far we've come since then. 9 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Where's the top bit? Have I read that bit? No.
No, it says, I really think at this point we all need to.
Understand and realize that Ellie knows so much more than we do, and there is a large reason they're not releasing hardly anything. Papa Roger, therefore, they have us searching for the most common vehicle, I'm guessing it said.
Oops. Oh, God.
Mm. The most common shape and color sedan
In America.
in the Americas. Mhm. That the public knows of, the motive was to kill. Why was there a motive is the question. Papa Rogers says, you think Ellie has a motive?
The 16th.
December 16.
Ooh, that's loaded.
Yeah. The killer has a sexual dysfunction. Thoughts? It's possible. No way of knowing at this time, though. Papa Roger. Right. This is a discussion. Why is this so hard for people to understand?
He's mad when it doesn't go his way.
Yeah, he really is. And going off this post, it's definitely likely due to the nature of stabbing. Could point to impotence. Papa Roger. I can't begin to have the mind of this killer, but it is so rare for someone to just kill for the thrill of just killing. This was not a sexually motivated crime. This was a crime motivated by revenge and hatred at its extreme. Papa Roger. Why? I'm going by the usage of a knife, up close and personal, as opposed to using a gun. I think that anyone who would commit this type of crime, using a knife especially, has to have some deep-seated rage, committing this act in a fit of adrenaline. That's a crime of passion. Who is that motivated and hasn't been brought to justice in 32 days? Some get off on killing. I forget what it's called, but that's their well. Yeah, you get it. Like.
Ooh, he wants him to go into detail.
He does every single time. Like that is their sexual gratification. I don't understand. Bro, use Google.
Wow. He wanted them to go into detail. Sick.
Uh-huh. And like this post is the one that he's commenting on the most.
Sick.
Yes, he also likes a steak medium. Is that your first thought? In relation to your post about the killer's potential ED, yes.
What's ED?
Very special.
That's a term.
Erectile dysfunction. It's the dysfunction post.
Very special.
Killer may, but it's not the casus belli for this crime. What is the motive?
That's got to be him. Who is going to say that? What is casus belli? What is that?
I don't know. I don't even know if I said it right.
All right, I'm going to Google it because I have to know. It's probably like the reason or something. But casus belli.
Casus belli.
Casus belli means an act or situation provoking or justifying war. The phrase is Latin and come from casus, case, and belly of war. Weird. And then when you look at what's an example of casus belli? The Arrow incident that started the Second Opium War, or the main incident, which led to the United States to annex Cuba and the Philippines from the Spanish Empire. So it's totally a military term. And then if you notice back here, this person here that's commenting to him has the "Don't Tread on Me" flag that says he likes his steak medium. in the ED. Yeah. And he would know that term from school.
Uh-huh.
No, why? Why? Why would he have sexual dysfunction? He was in a jealous rage. If he can't have her, no one can. And that's the bear, the binky bear. That person has the binky bear. Why? If he was in a jealous rage, he can't have her, no one can. And then he says, have a good night. You too.
He's done.
Weird. He does not like people disagreeing.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead. The 16th.
December
is still-
16. Yep. The date of killing was chosen on purpose. Thoughts? December 16 again. Any known internet suspect has been eliminated at this point. Fight me. Again with the fight me.
Fight me.
And then it jumps to December 21.
Wow.
Day 37. Do we think Ellie has a motive yet? Really wants to know what this motive is.
Mhm.
Yes, day 1. What do you think the motive is? Remember, if you can't have her, no one can. Who is that?
I think he's talking to himself here.
It sounds like it. JD. Have a good night.
Yep, I think he's talking to himself right here. Ugh. Yep, going right back to the ex.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know, just because Papa didn't post for those 4 or 5 days, these other, his other fake names could have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he said that earlier. He was like, they're the same place they were day 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we have this binky bear, whatever the hell that thing is. If he can't have her, no one can. So that would mean it was Kaylee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You said that last time. What is your opinion? In my opinion, you don't know who did it and no one else does. What's your opinion on who did it? If I knew who did it, I would tell LE. But you are allowed to have opinion. You gave me your opinion and I gave mine. What else is there? Well, you didn't give an opinion on who did it, but I respect that. Good night. I said I didn't know. Good night. Kaylee was the target. Verified info from Binky Bear. Post the verification. So you concluded that she was the target based on the wounds? Could the knife be dull at that point? And that is why the tearing was described? And we know that's true, that the knives.
See, that post when he was saying about the weapon, whether there was more than one, because using one weapon it would become ineffective and stuff. I was thinking, is that referring to their wounds? Like their wounds were different. They said that, didn't they? That Kaylee's injuries were more severe. So maybe the knife had blunted and more force was needed. And then he's commenting in this.
And I almost think that he may have had to use more than one knife just because of that reason.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, I mean, that's a lot of stabbing. She said multiple stab wounds.
Mm-hmm. And it could be a reason why the other two weren't attacked, because maybe that did happen. Maybe they were blunting and he just gave up.
Which would, confuse people if they hear her wounds are different to think she was the target. Like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
we'll do a couple more, and then I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 because we're just over halfway through what you put together.
Wow.
I know, but it's
See, it's a lot.
it is, but like we're gonna put this up in its entirety, you guys, after we do part 2. And Potato, thank you so much for putting that together. It's awesome. But we're
You're
gonna have
welcome.
to do a couple more, and then we will pick this up and do part 2, and we'll have to figure out what time we can do that. But we'll do a few more. I just want to keep this at a replay, and plus it's late where you are, so.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. That picture looks like Blowburger with a bun.
Oh my god, it's the nose.
It is. And his teeth and his undershirt. Oh my god, it's Blowburger with a. Oh, I can't.
The things that you see.
He did. I'm telling you, he morphed himself. Wait till I see Mark Furman and Kohberger together.
Oh gosh. So she says, have you seen the Google search trends info? I don't know exactly what it's called, but you can see the frequency and volume of searches on Google as a trend line. There was a massive spike in early October and also days before the murder of each of the victims' names. Ethan having the most Google searches. Oh, Ethan had the most. Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was Kaylee. But it's assumed that the killers were online stalking the victims, as Dylan and Bethany were hardly searched in comparison to the other 4.
Sorry, I just screenshotted the bun picture. I'm telling you. That's totally him morphed with a bun. I don't know who he morphed his picture with, but he's a weirdo. And I'm telling you, he morphed his face on there. You really cannot mistake the face.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Of
Brian Kohberger.
Yes, he's hiding in plain sight, guys. Hiding in plain motherfucking sight. Blowburger would be Brian Kohberger. You know?
Who is Blowburger?
The B with the B, Brian Kohberger, Blowburger. His name's too long. I had to shorten it. Okay, let's keep going. We'll finish this thread. Oh, that picture creeps me out now. That's gonna have to go into the stash of photos.
Pappa Rodgers. I posted it a few weeks ago. It has been removed now. This is just the address.
Weeks ago.
I'm assuming that the killer knew Ethan would be there and knew he had to attack him first, as he'd put up the most fight. Pappa Rodgers, why do you think that he put up the biggest fight? Where did you get that? I never said he did put up the most fight. We really don't know anything about their defensive wounds besides Xana's dad confirming she had them. Oh, I missed it.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for a picture. That
I missed
picture
what you
that
said.
I'm just gonna let it roll. I'm looking for a picture.
I'm just saying I would personally assume he'd had the hardest one to take down, as he is tall and a man. Kaylee was searched 40 times and Maddie 39 times on November 12th. I didn't know the amount of times. Do you know the exact amount for Xana and Ethan too? Someone said they were the most likely searched. Most at least Ethan. December 21. A knife is a very risky weapon. If you know you are going to murder 4 people, do we think the killer also had another weapon, such as a stun gun? Stun gun.
Oh, shit.
I missed what the rest of it said.
Well, we're gonna stop there.
It's just the rest of that post.
That one?
Yeah, up a bit. It was the actual post about the weapon.
Did I go too far?
No, it's after that bit. Just let it roll from there.
Okay. Tell me when.
Stun gun or other knife? Or did they not know what they would encounter?
And that was on the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
9 days away from his fate being sealed.
Yep.
A knife is a very risky weapon if you know you're going to murder 4 people. Such as a stun gun or another knife. Or did they not
I mean,
know what they
it's
would?
like the second time he's mentioned there being other knives.
Is there answers to this one?
I think so. Yep, interesting. I think all these questions he was asking were his research.
All right, we'll stop there with did the killer drive, walk, or some combination of both to the scene? Okay, wait. I want to see what people are thinking about these pictures I've got up. What did Faraday say? It's his sister. He morphed himself with his sister that was in the slasher movie. That's his.
I mean, it does look like his
Yeah,
sister.
it does. Oh, what a prick. What a prick. Let me pull up Amanda's picture. Amanda Kohberger. He was probably so jealous of her getting this role. I don't see a picture of her with a bun, though. I wonder if he watched that being filmed. Wouldn't that be weird?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's weird. Either way.
It's all weird. Okay, here's a picture of Amanda Kohberger. I can't get over how much Emma Bailey kind of resembles him as well. It's kind of creepy.
I know. She really does look like him.
It's the eyebrows and the schnoz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that strong brow line.
You know, it's really sad, though. I'm going to give you another spoiler for Tuesday's premiere. Her mother was... Howard Blum talked to Emma Bailey's mother. Oh, it does look like his sister, guys. That's sick. What was I saying?
Bloom talked to Emma Bailey's mother.
Yes. And her mother stated that she believes that Dee is like prostituting her out. And she also said it's really sad. She also said that there's been many nights that her father and her ex-husband, Emma's father, and herself have gotten calls from her crying, and they go and pick her up while Dee sleeps all day. They go and get her, and she goes right back. That's what she said. So more to come on that. I think I'm probably going to do a part 3 and maybe even possibly a 4 on that. That's how long it is. I'm just doing part 5 of his Andy, but I'm breaking it down. So it's In the Eyes of a Killer, part 5, Howard Blum's part 5 of his Moscow thing. But I'm doing it in different parts. So I've got part 2 is going to be out Tuesday, I think at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. I've got it premiering so you guys can live chat. No, Trina, Pappa Rodgers is not online. If you see a Pappa Rodgers, it's fake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is one on Facebook, but it's not him. It's not the same one that was doing these posts.
Yeah, the one on Facebook actually said, I want messages. I want this. I want that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So,
yeah, that's not the same.
do you guys think that picture is his sister morphed? Because I do. Michelle Mansoir. Yeah, he was detained. He wasn't arrested. You're going to have to look up what detained means, because detained means they put him in the back of the car to check something or run his record or talk to him or something. Teresa, I know somebody sent it to me. which was really nice. I haven't read all the parts. I think I read. Did we read like the first? They're really long, and they use a lot of big. Where he uses a lot of big words. I'm not gonna lie. There's some of them I've had to like go and look at the pronunciation because he really does use big words, and I think a lot of people like don't comprehend what it means when you use big words like that. Like, you know what I mean? The lay person who's reading something, you got to really sit down and read that.
Mhm.
It's not a skimmer. That would be awesome, Teresa. Teresa is like, I'm going to send you all the parts. She paid for it.
Oh,
She
that's
wants me to
cool.
do all of them. I would be one busy girl for a while.
Uh-huh. That'd be interesting, though.
Okay, Chuck 420. I'm sorry for the confusion. I'm behind. And it's at the point where you're looking at the post that says about the whole heat being off is what it says in the post. Andy Kane. Did I say you could be live? No. But now we didn't wait for your permission. We've been live for 2.5 hours. Yeah, he's got a sound.
2.5 hours?
Yes.
Holy moly.
And we're only halfway through. Okay,
Wow.
one more question. Tam Tam, when was the last time this Pappa guy posted off that page? Meaning posted in the group.
December 22.
And they actually booted him because he was a dick.
And yeah. So he was removed from the group the evening before his arrest.
Yeah, he does think.
And he was removed because he was arguing with people.
He thinks he's so clever. I think all of this is going to backfire on his little plan, but that's just me.
So I'm interested to know if people in chat think that Pappa Rodgers is Brian Kohberger at this point.
Brian, I'm going to play that.
Brian Kohberger.
Kohberger.
J Lord, pulled over is detained. He isn't that special. No, it's not really. Look it up. Detained is a different, that's when they actually detain you and like put you in their car. It doesn't mean you're arrested or anything. You're just detained. Tam Tam thinks that it does seem to be him. All right. Well, replay crew, if you're replaying this, thank you so much. Thanks again to Potato for putting this together. It was wonderful. And I can't wait to do part 2 with you.
Me either. It's so interesting. I got so into it. So it's so interesting to see other people's thoughts on it too.
And it's really super interesting too. I bet you were like, what are we going to see? Because
Uh-huh.
everything we've found out, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot when you go back to the beginning when we knew absolutely nothing.
Nope. And I've already seen all these as well the first time that we knew about him, but it just hits different now after knowing what we know.
It does. Hi, Stephen A. Mark Klein said that my great grandma was doxxed in that first pic. I'm not having this. Andy said, thanks, hot potato. She's now hot potato, hot potato. All right,
The
guys.
devil is dancing tonight.
Until tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Check out my other videos and playlists for more content. And Potato, give them your exit.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, wait. I got one thing for you, Potato.
Oh, wait.
There's
more.
There's more. Look what I have now in my background.
Oh, yay. The big red bus.
Potato sent me this. I always talked about the double decker. So she sent me some English teas in this cute little double decker tin. So now I've got it, as she would say, sat back here. So now it's sat back on my desk. So I love you guys. Thank you, all the moderators. You guys are great. Thank you to everyone who subscribed tonight. We have so many. Let's get to our credits, shall we? Good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I spend my life on.
No, you're just more zeroed in. Like you zero in more on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like but you find something cool, and that's what you get. Like you find something that no one else has, and you put the time in, and you like get it all. Like that's what you did with that. Because everybody went and looked, but no one took the fucking time to save it. Right? Right, but you like get a. I know, and then once you, oh god. Wait, I want to make sure. You were hot, Mike, for just hot seconds. I don't think I'm hot. Oh, maybe I am. Can y'all hear me? Oh my